The first time I saw him, I was chained to a wall in the dimly lit holding cell of the Dravari raiders. The metallic scent of ozone and blood filled the air, mixed with the acrid stench of fuel from the ships docked above. Outside, the distant roar of engines suggested that we were far from any known system. He entered quietly, a shadow among shadows, moving with the precision and grace of a predator. His armor was sleek, iridescent, etched with alien glyphs that shimmered faintly under the cell's emergency lighting. His eyes, glowing amber, swept the room with a mix of caution and authority. "You're awake," he said, voice low and deliberate. Even though I didn't know his language fully, I understood the intent. Survival demanded attention. I swallowed hard. Who are you?" He smirked faintly. "Names are irrelevant here. What matters is that we survive. Together, if we want to live." We had both been captured, victims of a surprise raid on a remote research outpost. He had been leading a reconnaissance mission on a distant moon when the Dravari struck, leaving him trapped in a cell only meters from my own. From the beginning, he moved with careful calculation, studying the guards, noting patrol patterns, and identifying weak points in the cell doors. I didn't trust him at first. How could I? He was an alien, towering, dangerous, and armed with strength and abilities far beyond my own. Yet, something in his eyes hinted at a code of honor, a restraint that suggested he was not like the others who had captured us. "You're quiet," he whispered one night. "Speak. We'll need to communicate if we are to escape." I nodded, hesitating. I don't know if I can trust you." "Then trust necessity," he replied. "Trust that survival demands action. I will not betray you, unless you force me to." Over the next several days, we planned. Guards rotated on predictable schedules, and the cell walls were old, corroded in places. He discovered a small maintenance tunnel behind a damaged panel, one that could serve as an escape route if we timed it correctly. "You'll need to follow exactly," he said. "Any mistake and we die." I agreed. Every decision from then on was a delicate dance between instinct, fear, and trust. He guided me, sometimes gently placing his hands on my shoulders to steady me as we crept past sensors and patrols. The closer we got to freedom, the more I noticed his subtle glances, warnings, reassurances, fleeting signs of concern that went beyond mere survival. The night of the escape, the tension was unbearable. Dravari patrols were more alert than usual, their scanners sweeping corridors we had mapped countless times. The first challenge came immediately, a pair of guards rounding a corner unexpectedly. He reacted instinctively, moving faster than any human could, incapacitating both guards silently. "Keep moving," he whispered. His breath was close to my ear, and I could feel the warmth of his presence, oddly reassuring despite the danger. Step by step, we made our way to the maintenance tunnel. Sparks flew from exposed conduits, and my heart raced as I crawled through narrow passages, sometimes dragging him along when his weight shifted unexpectedly. "You're stronger than you look," I whispered, half in awe, half in fear. He chuckled softly, a sound that somehow cut through the tension. "And you endure better than I imagined." It was then that he leaned close, whispering something that would change everything. "If we make it out alive, I will claim you. Not as a prisoner, not as an ally, but as something more. Marry me." I froze, the words echoing in the metal corridor. The absurdity, the impossibility, and the undeniable sincerity of the whisper hit me all at once. I wanted to protest, to deny it, but there was no time. Survival demanded action. The tunnel led to the docking bay, where the raiders' ships were lined for departure. He assessed the guards and laser turrets, calculating the risk down to fractions of a second. "You'll need to cover me as I disable the primary generator," he instructed. "Once it's down, the security grid will be offline for exactly 30 seconds. We board a ship, and we leave." I nodded, hands shaking but determined. The generator was heavily guarded, and my role was to keep watch while he executed precise maneuvers, using his alien abilities to bypass sensors and neutralize threats. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and for a moment, it seemed all was lost. But he moved with a grace that was almost otherworldly, and the generator went offline. 30 seconds, he muttered. "Move." We ran. The docking bay was chaos. Raiders scrambled to respond to the alarm, but we were faster. He dragged me to a small shuttle tucked away behind larger ships. Inside, he initiated the launch sequence, bypassing complex alien security protocols in moments that felt like magic. The shuttle roared to life, rising into the atmosphere as the orbital bombardment continued below. Outside, the Dravari fleet searched for escapees, but he navigated expertly, weaving through debris and enemy fire. "You did it," I gasped, finally allowing myself to breathe. He turned toward me, eyes glowing faintly in the dim cockpit light. "We did it. Together." And then, almost shyly, he whispered again. "Now, about my promise." I swallowed hard, heart pounding not just from the escape, but from the sincerity in his tone. I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything now," he said, voice low, steady, but full of intent. "We survived. That is enough. But remember, this is only the beginning." The journey back to a safe system was tense. Dravari patrols continued to search for us, and every jump through hyperspace carried the risk of detection. Yet, amidst the tension, there was a strange intimacy forming between us. Shared glances, small gestures, moments of silent communication that transcended words. He was no longer just an alien warrior. I began to understand him, and he began to trust me. By the time we reached a neutral colony, safe from immediate pursuit, he looked at me with a calm I had never seen before. "You've survived everything I could throw at you, and more," he said softly. "You are stronger than I expected. And I want you with me. Not as a prisoner, not as an ally, but as my equal." I felt warmth spread through me, a combination of relief, awe, and something deeper. I never expected this," I admitted. "Neither did I," he said, smiling faintly. "But it's real. And now, we face the universe together." In the days that followed, we rebuilt, prepared for retaliation from the Dravari, and forged a bond that neither species nor war could break. He taught me how to navigate alien technology, how to read the subtle cues of interstellar politics, and how to survive in a universe that often seemed designed to crush the weak. And in return, I taught him patience, empathy, and the value of trust between two beings from completely different worlds. Our escape had started with fear and desperation, but it ended with hope, and a promise whispered in the darkness. That promise would define us, guide us, and shape our future among the stars. Together, we had survived. Together, we had discovered something deeper than mere survival: connection, loyalty, and the first spark of a love that could transcend the boundaries of species, systems, and galaxies. His whisper had changed everything, and in doing so, had changed me forever.